Hey everybody, it's Steve Owens, Tournament Director for the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series. This is your angler briefing for event number 5 of the 2024 season. And we're on Lake Allatoona in Canton, Georgia. The headquarters for this event, we're excited to be at the mill on Etowah. And when you get there at awards, you're welcome to invite anyone that you like. What's going on at the mill this weekend, on top of what we're doing, is they've got a local music and 5K thing going on called Upriver Fest, and that starts at 4 p.m., which is when we start doing our thing for awards and everything. So whenever you get there, the parking lot is going to be, I mean, it shouldn't be as packed as the typical event at the mill. Their outdoor expo things are very successful. So when you come in and you go around to the right, there's going to be the gravel parking lot area. You're going to have just have to kind of fend for yourself. We don't have a hard check-in at these events, so as long as you're there a little bit, after 4, we're going to, you're not going to get penalized for anything. So be safe getting there. If there's a way for you to buddy up and ride in a vehicle with someone else, or drop your trailer and then pick it up later, that'd be great just for parking purposes. But rest assured, we've been, talked about this already. We're all a big part of the Mill and Reformation Brewery family. So we understand we shouldn't have a problem with room there. So if you look on the TourneyX page, there's a graphic that shows the Georgia Bass Nation logo. That's where we're going to be. That's where our tent will be set up. We're happy to have Carl Black Chevrolet Kennesaw. They're going to be there. We're going to have a vehicle on site for you to look over. We've had several people buy vehicles from them this year, so we appreciate the reciprocating support. As you know, they're our title sponsor, or one of our title sponsors, and our Angler of the Year sponsor. So they're giving away $1,000 to somebody again this year. So we'll have those standings updated after this event. And but when you get there, be mindful of the other people, that are a part of the festival and everything. So, but we're going to have a good time there. So when we get your awards and stuff handed out, we got a spot there to mingle and hang out at and enjoy some music and some micro brew stuff. And I'm sure there'll be some food. So bring the kids, bring the family, bring everybody So let's make it a big deal. And we're grateful to have Carl Black showing up there with us again. A few other things going on. Sniper Marine obviously is our big bass sponsor, but they have an incentive program that we're going to start hyping a little more. If you have a Sniper Marine pole on your kayak during this event, you are entered into a side pot where you will be awarded, I believe it's $200, if you have the biggest bass among people who own sniper poles and have them on their kayak for this event. So you may not win the overall big bass for the event, but you can win the Sniper Marine side pot. There's a title to that, and it just slipped my mind as I started talking about it. I think it's Sniper Marine Precision Dollars. So that's real cool. So what you're going to have to do for that is, if you've got a sniper pole, you bring me a picture of that from your kayak, or I'll walk out there and we'll investigate it. I trust you all to be honest, but we do want to make sure everybody's on the up and up. It is a sniper precision pay. So okay, the Bass Nation Kayak Series silver level tournament is $50. I apologize. So it's $50. Gold level is the ABA Kayak Series Ironman, the $100. And the diamond level tournaments, there's $250 for a Hobie BOS, a Bassmaster, or a KVF Trail Series. So that's something that's a manual side pod. It's not something that's in conjunction with the events on the page per se. So pay attention to that and bring it to us so that we can get you credit and get you paid. So, but again, we're grateful to be a part of the mill on Etowah. Travis Dawkins did an introduction to kayak fishing tournament recently there that went pretty well. He did a great job with it, emceeing on the stage and everything with the backdrop. I don't have a relationship with those people like that, but he's going to introduce me to them, and maybe we can be able to get set up on stage too. So getting into the event, you all know that your rules, waiver, and your dues link payments are on the Georgia Bass Nation website. Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series website. So that's your job to read those rules, download them, memorize them, get your waivers downloaded, signed, and sent back to me, and then get your dues paid so that you can fish a tournament and get credit for what you do. I'll be catching up with some of you because your dues have expired, but I'll reach out to you over the next little bit to make certain that we get on top of the rest of that. So a little bit of details about your tournament that you're going to be fishing. So here's some of your safety stuff. We all look out for one another. If you see someone that isn't doing something correctly or maybe has forgotten, reach out to them and just give them, a reminder. And help them fix that. And if something goes awry, reach out to me and let me know, and then we'll have a conversation if we need to. So, but PFD has to be worn at all times. If you need to change clothes, add or take away, you are allowed to do that quickly. Lights for this event, if you are a man-powered vessel, you got to have a white 360 light if you're launching before safe light, or wraparound LEDs. If you're motorized, we are a 1 motor per kayak series. So it doesn't mean you can have 2 on and decide to swap them out and alternate, use one and then put it up and use the other. You can only have 1 on your kayak during tournament hours. If you have 2, then you're disqualified. So it's 1 kayak, 1 motor. If you are motorized and you want to take off before safe light, you have to have a white 360 navigation light on the back of your kayak, and you got to have the red and green navigation lights on the front. If you don't have those lights, you can take off if you've got the white 360 light, but you can't use your motor until daylight if you don't have navigation lights. So you are allowed to take off under manual power if you have a white 360 light. You just can't use your motor until daylight. So leave your motor stowed, take off, paddle, or use your pedal drive to get to where you're going until daylight. So you are allowed to do that. Something that's a good idea to keep up with is one another. If you are fishing and you can let somebody know where you're launching or where you'll be fishing during the day, please do that. Try the check in and out function on GABNKS. If it jams up on you or you can't get it to work, don't worry about it. It's not mandatory, but it's just a nice thing for us to have as tournament directors to be able to help if something happens to you. But if you don't have anyone that you can let know, you can let me know as tournament director, and I won't mind at all to kind of check on you throughout the day if something happens, and that way we know where you're at if you need help. So for this event, we are a 5-fish tournament series with a 12-inch minimum length. It's a 1-day event. We're a catch board only series. So your fish orientation has to be belly down towards you, facing left, touching the bunk board. Need to be able to see the lip on the bunk board closed. Need to be able to see the eyeball. Don't cover it. Don't have your hand under the gill plate. We need to be able to see the end of the tail. You are allowed to pinch it for maximum length, but you need to move your hand back where we can see the end of the tail for scoring purposes. We need to be able to see the numbers after the tail as well as your identifier in your picture. Don't cover those numbers up. We won't be able to score your fish most likely. If you've got a fish with a damaged or a bad eye, take a picture. Take your picture, obviously, for GABNKS, and then start recording a video of that fish laying true to measurement on your board, and you picking the fish up and letting it be released and swimming off, and that'll show us that fish was a live fish when you caught it. Add a sticker to your catch board if you don't care. If you don't already have one, a light colored sticker helps big time with the us being able to tell that the fish mouth is closed and touching the board. It helps us judge your fish correctly for you. If there's an issue there and we can't tell, then we can't score the fish sometimes. Go through your manage catch function on your app throughout your day. That's where you check your fish to make sure they've been scored like you think they need to. And if there's a deduction, you'll be able to see there that there was a deduction and reach out to us. We don't always have the time or the ability to get a hold of you and talk to you when we disqualify your fish. So we want you to be able to get the right picture up if you've got a better photograph and just chose the wrong one on accident. So that's your job to do that throughout the day. You get your fish uploaded. If you have a problem getting them uploaded, we'll help you. but you can't wait until that fish submission time, because if that runs out, we can't do anything about that. Poor cell signal, your phone jamming up or whatever, that's not, there's not much we can do about that. That's something that you have to take care of yourself. There's times when you have to leave the water to go get a Wi-Fi signal. That's just part of electronic fishing. The times for this event: on Saturday, April 27th, you're allowed to launch at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lines in at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lines out is 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. Last fish submission is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to check in back at the mill on Etowah again at the Reformation Brewery at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Your launches and boundaries for this event are Lake Allatoona waters. Lake Ackworth is not in bounds. Portaging is allowed for this event. The Etowah River launch boundary is the 575 bridge. You are allowed to navigate above and below, but need to return back to a legal launch to take out. The 575 launch boundary will be that way for the entire lake. And again, as I mentioned, Lake Ackworth is not in bounds. Again, try to do the check in and out function if you don't mind. Go back and look on the Facebook page and the Attorney X page rather, and look for the location on Reformation Breweries. You can come and hang out with us and have a good time. Dugout Bait and Tackle told me to mention to you all, we have a fresh shipment of Tennessee trailers, the K3 model. It sets lower, a little more streamlined, a little more minimalist, a little cheaper. Some nice lighting upgrades to it, and stability bar if you have to step out on your kayak for some reason on your trailer while it's in the water. We've got a new shipment of Hobie XR 360s in. What that XR does is it makes it where you can spin the drive around without having to get out. If your belt were to break or some kind of damage like that, you'll be able to lock it in place and have a 180 drive, which is traditional straight drive. And then there's also an external tensioner for your belt clutch and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of good upgrades there on that model. And we do have Jackson NARS still, 2 for $4,200. That's $2,100 a piece. If you need us to split them, we might do that too. So just reach out to Jamie Koza and them at the Dugout Bait and Tackle and get that smoking deal there. Again, top 10 from this event will make it to the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series State Championship. And we appreciate what's going on so far this year. The attendance has been really good. It's kind of light for this one right now. It's a Thursday night. We're at 20. But we started the season really strong on Seminole with about 70 something with the Florida Bass Nation Club. On Lanier a few weeks ago, or a month ago rather, I guess we'd say, we had 75 fish hit. Lake Eufaula, we had 30 something fish there, I believe. So yeah, we had 32 fish there, which is a pretty good turnout. Sinclair really surprised me earlier on in the season. We had 52 people there, and so that was really, really good to see. We appreciate you all coming out for lakes like that, especially when it's early in the year, because we all know there's a lot of things we can do. So we appreciate you all coming out and getting with us. So that's all I got for y'all. Reach out to me if you got any questions. Again, we'll be part of the Upriver Fest with Carl Black Chevrolet. We're excited about that. So reach out to me if you got any questions, concerns, or suggestions, and we'll get on them and we'll keep working this together, y'all. We appreciate it. The season's going really, really well. No issues so far that I can think of. I had to miss a few, but I'll be at the rest of them this year. May not be able to make the final one of the year due to a personal vacation, but I'm going to try to see if we can't get that scheduled out, because I want to get down there and float those rivers with y'all. So reach out to us if you got any questions, and we'll catch up with y'all at the Upriver Fest at the mill on Etowah. Appreciate it.